Is the stream live? Alright, I heard myself. I don't do this often enough to remember how streaming on YouTube is supposed to work. Alright. Probably should, share this link on the social medias and things, and also send it to, let's say, some of my game dev friends. Let's see. This is Moon and I clowning around. Probably should close Discord right about now. What else did I need to do? I see someone in chat, but I can't actually read what they said because my monitor is very crowded right now. Is Tabular Elf, like, awake right now? He probably is. Because he never sleeps, but... Alright. Let's see, so what am I doing? Today I'm going to be running this little duck wizard game on a Raspberry Pi 5. I'm also going to run it on a Raspberry Pi 4 just to, like, compare performance. I haven't done this before, so I don't know what I'm going to be getting into. I've heard good things about the performance of the Raspberry Pi 5, and we'll see exactly how far that goes. I probably should make sure that this is turned on. Alright, how do I do that? Alright, so the F1 key in the game will toggle the debug overlay. I'm also going to have to, let's see. What else am I going to have to do? I'm going to have to, like, set up all the dependencies for building GameMaker games on the Raspberry Pi. I'm going to have to... There was something else I was thinking of. I think I set the, like, the host name and everything on the Pi 5. So that should be good to go. I shouldn't have to do any, like, actual setup there. Let's see. So first, let me just run this normally on, you know, on Windows, on a computer with a GPU. And, is that too loud? I have a feeling that's going to be a little loud. Let me turn that down a little. 4 gigabytes. I was going back and forth. Let's see. I was going back and forth on which version of the Pi I should get, and I decided to go for the mid spec, 4 gigabytes, just so that I could like guarantee that there wouldn't be any problems on a version that had less if I got the 8 gigabyte one. That debug overlay was disabled, so I need to run that again. Hopefully it won't make a difference in my case, because this game only uses, like, not that much memory. In the grand scheme of things, if I were to turn on the debug overlay, alright, input is blocked when I have this open, apparently. I appear to be getting about 100 and change FPS underscore real, on a computer with a normal, you know, CPU and GPU, so that's good. Next, I'm going to go over here to the, do I not have the Raspberry Pi 4 in my device manager? Hang on. This is where it's gonna get complicated, because I have my regular computer, the Pi 4 and the Pi 5 all hooked up, and there are computer mice and computer keyboards everywhere, and I suppose this would be a time where I can there's static. That's not good. I don't see any obvious. So I guess I could just like mute the. Oh, you know what it probably is? It's probably the capture card, because the capture card likes to do that when I plug in the Raspberry Pi for some reason. Can I make it not do that somehow? I got a black screen, don't I? All right. All right, we connected to the gamedev Pi. I can now run this. Let me get back to the static in a minute. So I hope that's not coming through my actual microphone. Okay, yeah, never mind. I see the capture card audio was, yeah, okay. Let's just mute that. So all right, this is gonna take a minute to build for the Pi and execute and everything, and failed. Okay, why? Unable to connect because you timed out. Oh, that's because I had the target set for a computer that isn't turned on right now. Okay. Let's actually target the Raspberry Pi. And really? We don't wanna There's always something. It said test connection successful. Alright, well, while I'm waiting for this, how's all your days going? I can't actually see how many people are here because I have like so many things open on my other screen. So I had trouble using a capture card for some real reason. It got pretty old. This is a fairly old capture card too. This is a HD60 from like 2014. It's maybe 2015. Why is it that the instant that I try to like the instant that I try to actually do this, it just breaks? Because I was able to build for this thing a couple days ago. We can see the device that I'm connecting to, right? Should I just 192.168.120. Does it just not like when I try to use the host name instead of the IP address itself? Come on, GameMaker, you can do this. All right, I think it detected it. We're writing the WAD file anyway, which I don't think we got to last time. And all right, I see it's got to the transferring assets stage. All right. This is gonna be hard because my keyboard is like way off to the side because that's where there's space for it, and the display is in my lap because that's where there's space for it. All right, we've got the opening credits screen, and all right, we're getting, I see, 30-ish FPS, which is honestly better than I was expecting. Let's see. Come on. If I, oh, I can't interact with it? That's weird. That's extremely cursed. I don't know if I like that. I'm gonna have to figure that out before MagFest. Can I Alt F4? Alright, I can Alt F4 out of it. That's, let's see. Is there anything in... I wonder if I should, I think I can close this now. Should I just like delete the game save? Forgot where GameMaker stores that. I think it's this one. Should I just try that again? With a oh no, you know what? I know why it wasn't working. It was because the debug overlay blocks input for whatever reason. All right. That's the same problem I had like 2 minutes ago on Windows. All right, crisis averted, I hope. It builds on the Raspberry Pi, which I'm happy about. I see no reason why it should, I mean, aside from the fact that it's taking a while to actually copy the files to the device, I see no reason why it shouldn't do anything else. All right. But I don't have like a nice like FPS meter of my own on the screen anywhere. Ooh, that's that transition before it like auto detected the settings was rough. Anyway, I do want to test this with like all the regular graphics settings. It looks like I'm getting about 20 FPS. This is obviously a little bit less than ideal, but I just want to pay attention to that number. All right. All right, maybe I should actually not. Maybe I should actually not have it on high. All right, but it looks like the game is working. We're detecting input and everything. Should I write this down? Maybe I'll, I need a pencil. That's not a pencil. That is a pair of scissors. I had a pencil. I'm very organized here. Here's a Sharpie. That's good enough. I will write down RP4. I'll make notes on both like the standard and the low graphics presets. Like running around. Ooh, wow. All right, that's rough. Just running around and casting spells and whatever. Let's see. Settings. Let's turn that down to low. And all right, it's more like 21 FPS. That's not a lot better. I have a feeling actually that it feels better though. I wonder if the actual reported FPS. Oh, that was FPS real, wasn't it? That wasn't the actual FPS, but that's it does feel a lot better. All right, this feels more like 20. Before it felt like maybe 8. But this is borderline playable. We do have these things where these trees are a little new. These trees are a little bit of a extra geometry. That's probably not doing it any favors. I will test this both with and without. Yes, this is a Raspberry Pi 4, and probably a few minutes. I'll be booting up the Pi 5 and see what happens. Um, all right, I think that's enough for here. I will run it on a config that I believe is just using these sprite trees and not the 3D geometry trees, and see if that makes any. I mean, it'll make a difference, but we'll see how much of a difference it is. Of course, this is going to take forever because whenever you change the config in GameMaker, it clears the cache and you have to wait for it. Trash on a Raspberry Pi is called wastebasket. Yeah, something like that. Deep sea trip. Yeah, this is a 4, and whenever I make notes on how it performs here, I will switch over to the 5 so that I can compare before and after. And possibly also do a little bit of debugging it. All right, this is on the title screen with just the sprite trees. We're getting 50-ish FPS underscore real, which is tolerable, and we'll see how I. This is definitely faster than it was before because the trees did generate a lot of geometry. I do remember the last time I did this. It was not a lock on 60 or anything, but it was what you would call playable. All right, I'm gonna say that probably feels like 20 or so FPS. If I run around a little bit on the ooh, no, 15. All right, that was a little optimistic. It's funny because the way that the 3D trees and the sprite trees are rendered are a little bit hit different parts of the system. Let's see. What was I doing? I also want to test. This is gonna make it a little bit worse, but bumping that up a little bit. That's mostly to do with grass density. Okay, wow, that's not ideal. That definitely feels more like, again, like 10 or so. You know what I really need to do though? I'm gonna Alt F4 out of there and switch back to GameMaker for just a moment. Let me actually draw like the actual FPS on the screen, so I don't have to do that mess with the debug overlay, because that's a little inconvenient to have to keep switching back and forth, and it doesn't actually show like the the accurate FPS, only the CPU FPS. Did I run this on the Pi again? I did. By the way, I don't know if you can hear it, but the fan I have on my Raspberry Pi 4 is going pretty hard. It's been spinning pretty much since I turned it on, which is a little worrying that it started doing that before I even like had the game on. But I have noticed in my my so far limited use of the Pi 5 that it's a lot quieter with the built-in cooling solution. All right, so we are gonna call up for a low 20s FPS. All right, enough of that. Let's see if I switch the inputs. This is the okay, that's an empty input. This is the Raspberry Pi 5. And God, the keyboard is like behind me. Let me see. I'm going to need to install the dependencies. Because apparently I forgot to do this beforehand, and I thought this would be a fun way to spend the stream. Sudo apt install. I don't think I spelled install right. You know what? I think oh, you know, I think in my video I have just like a text list all in one line for the dependencies. All right, I'm not appearing in the search results. Interesting. I guess I'll just use Masita's version. I think he has a list of the dependencies too somewhere. All right, yeah, that's all about. Here we go. All right, this is what I want. Much better than having to type them all in manually. Yeah, that's gonna take a minute. And in the meantime, let me open another terminal. Apparently, this is 192.168.117. Apparently, GameMaker doesn't like actually connecting to things by their host name, so I'm gonna have to type in add a new device over here in GameMaker land, RP5. And just type in the IP manually. Alright, so that's gonna what are we, about a third of the way through installing the dependencies? That's fun. I should probably, like, you know, sudo apt upgrade, sudo apt update while I'm here. Because that's usually a good thing to do, right? I'll see if I can get away with not doing that, because that'll take extra time. Alright, I can close Chromium, right? Apparently I can't close Chromium. There it goes. And alright, I think that's everything. If I click run in GameMaker now, there it goes. We we got to the opening credits a lot faster than we did before. I see that we're... Wow. Are we a lock on 60? I think we are. Okay. Alright, so when we get into the game, that drops down to mid-50s, but still. Alright, I was thinking, let's see if we get a 30. And this is, I'm running this on the default config, too, not on the cut-down Raspberry Pi config. Let's, Alright, so when a little more starts happening, we drop into the 40s. If I go into settings, this is the standard preset. I know that I didn't do this on the 4, but dropping down the rendering resolution a bit tends to help. Didn't look like it did much there, but we're all right. This is the upper 50s. That's neat, and I'm sure that with a little bit of work, I can make this a pretty solid 60. The Raspberry Pi configuration that I usually build with is like cuts down on the amount of grasses and flowers and stuff and some other things. But this is nice. Okay. I'm gonna write down, let's say 50 FPS for the standard graphic settings. If I turn that down to low, oh yes, that does lock the resolution to 30. I would like in this case to see how high we can make that go. Oh yeah, that's 60. Let's see how that goes if I do a little bit of gameplay. Okay, that box has the wrong model, which is hilarious. I think that's a me glitch though. I don't think that's a Raspberry Pi glitch. All right, and everything seems to be working. We've got particles. We've got actually, if I swim around, how does that look? I love that box turned into a tree. I'm not sure what I did there. I must have been messing around. We don't have any like water particles behind me. I think that's because particle density is like way down. But otherwise, it does the big splash when you jump in, which is good. And all right, loading a different map is pretty good. That's I mean, I was expecting it to go pretty well, but that was a little more than I anticipated. I wonder if... I don't think if I would have like bumped up the frame rate to like 120, it would have actually done that, because this display is only 60 hertz. Switch over to the Pi config in GameMaker and rebuild the game, and that will use, among other things, the 2D trees. Trying to think what else I can do to play around with this while I'm here. Greetings, Alfambra. Let's see. This is what I had before. As you can see, the density of the vegetation is a little less, and we are using the 2D trees and not the 3D ones. All right, so because of some interesting ways about the way that the 2D trees are drawn, this is actually hitting this harder than the 3D trees were, which is interesting. I did not expect that. I did not test the 3D trees in the Raspberry Pi yet. I've been working on those on Windows. Yes, this is the same duck. it's reporting 60 FPS, but it can't possibly be, right? There's, oh, you know what? It's not processing some step events when I'm in the pause menu, so that's probably why. Bump that back up to standard, and all right. So note to self. This is very useful information. I may just drop the these trees in the Raspberry Pi config because these are actually performing worse. Let's see. Let's push that out of the way. Okay, that's fun. Guess I kind of want to play through the demo again, like the whole thing, start to finish, just so that I can see if there's anything obviously wrong about it. But if I do that, I think I'm definitely going to want to do that on the config that performs a little better. Let's see. Let's run that again. Is there anything else I wanted to test? There was a lot less screwing around than I was expecting, which is saves me a little bit of time. But also, I've done pretty much everything that I was planning on doing today, and it's only been like a half an hour. If anybody else has a thing that they want me to test on the Raspberry Pi 3 versus the Raspberry Pi 4 versus 5, I guess I can do that. Not sure how long I'll be here today. All right, so it's starting up again, so let me turn on the game capture. Let's see, new game, and we're still not quite locked on 60, so I will turn down a little bit the grass densities and stuff. Obviously, the fact that those boxes are apparently trees, I'm gonna have to fix, but I think that's because I was working on some mechanics involving them recently. That's not. Although I think I will actually go to this font because that's a little bit easier to read from where I'm sitting. I also wanted to. What was the other thing? The grass density. Thanks. So it's been a lot of fun to work on. All right, yeah, this is not quite 60, but pretty close to it. So that's good. I should find a better place to put my keyboard though, because this is really squeezing my hands a little bit. Let's see. Who put those barrels here? I also want to make sure that like some other things, like the stuff that pop out of chests, behave correctly, because I remember on some occasions those looked a little funny. Suspicious statues. This is not open source, and even if it was, you probably don't want to use this to learn from, because there's a lot of code, and this is not exactly beginner-friendly material. I do have several other 3D projects on the GitHub org that are you can download the source of and play around with if you want to, but this one is not. Alright, so this tadpole is going to give me the unlocking spell. My wrist is really getting sore. Where can I, man, I don't have anywhere. So this display is currently sitting on my lap because all of these surfaces are taken right now. Maybe if I move around some of the stuff that the Raspberry Pi 4 is sitting on, I can like... Alright, that's still a little awkward. Give me a moment. Alright, maybe if I I do this. No, that's not gonna work. All right. It's a mess in here. If you hear anything fall, I'm sorry in advance. Alright, it's just, it's too crowded in here, and I really don't want this to end with anything on the, like, the floor that, that shouldn't be there, so I think I'm just gonna have to deal with this. Alright. I guess this is a little bit better. Any projects on GitHub that combine 3D with 2D sprites? Not currently. That was, well, like, there's the sample project from the 2D and 3D video that I did a few weeks ago is up there somewhere. There was about a year ago when I started the 3D wizard game, I put up the subject for like a vote, and one of the subjects was like 2D sprites in a 3D world like this, or like a Octopath Traveler or whatever. But people were instead. Is this the wrong keyboard? All right, there we go. People instead wanted to see the Zelda-like wizard game, so that is what ended up happening there. I do want to do something like that in a you know, like on a YouTube series where the source is available and whatnot sometime though. When you use 2D sprites in a 3D world, you just make a 3D model. That's one way of doing it. You'd think I would know my own game better right now, but I'm kind of like focusing on other things now. Yeah, this is the Pi 5. I have tried to just like turn all sprites into quads, into vertex buffers in the past, but that was kind of a pain, and then after a while I just decided to let GameMaker deal with it. Alright, there we go. That's the CAS key. Let's see. I keep hitting C for CAS instead of space because that's what it was for a while, but everybody thought that was weird, so I changed it to space, and now I can never remember. Let's see. Saving works? I would hope that saving works. That would be a problem if it doesn't. Okay, these 2D collectibles look fine. I think they looked fine when they were popping out of the treasure chest, which was good, because that has behaved strangely on occasion. How I can deactivate a 3D camera? What do you mean? These tree boxes are hilarious. You can I need push. You can use whatever camera projection view and projection matrix you want when you like draw a scene. It doesn't have to be so the fact that these are off center is a little weird. You don't have to like specifically activate or deactivate a camera or anything. That's it's not going through the gate, is it? All right. I swear these aren't supposed to be trees. This is just they're being drawn with the wrong model because I was messing around with something recently. Oh, the save animation. Yes, I had fun with that. And Moonin had fun drawing that. And that was let's see, I'll go this way. I assume you've seen the little meme of the duck with the flower on its head that is based on at some point on the internet, because it does the rounds every once in a while. All right. When changing let me zoom in on YouTube a little bit so that it's easier to see chat. That'll do it. When changing scenes, the camera and maybe the 3D models continue to be rendered. Do you mean like when you're like going between maps and you're like crossfade the camera? That would definitely do it if you have to render multiple things at once. Oh, this is gonna be awkward. I think this is the oh no, there's one more section up ahead with that makes use of pushy boxes. Let's see, is that is on that pressure plate? I have noticed the dog doesn't seem to get in the way as much, which is good because I spent a lot of time trying to keep him from getting in the way of your spells and whatnot. Also, I forget if I answered you when you asked Deep Sea, but yes, this is the Pi 5. The default background for the Raspberry Pi 5 is this bluish scene, and the default background for the 4 is the orangey. I think it's Angkor Wat or something. Alright, so that tadpole's being dramatic. We now have the illumination spell. Okay, oh, that's right. I did not yet implement the illumination effect for the 3D trees. I'm gonna have to... Right, this is as far as I'll be able to go here. I'll have to remember to do that. Obviously, this is going to get an entire testing pass before MagFest, but all right, that's the Raspberry Pi 5. So let's see. I'm trying to think of other things I might want to test while I'm here. I don't know if any of you guys have projects that you want to run. If you want me to run on both the Pi 4 and the Pi 5, see how it goes, or if let's see. Was there something else I wanted to do that I said I needed to change? Blocks, obviously. Why are we using the... Yeah, I don't know why I was doing that, but let's just real quick make sure that we're actually rendering a block now. Right, apparently this is where I last saved. If I come in here, these shaded regions where the map transitions are at now we've got blocks. You get some weird moire patterns on those. And I should probably ask Moonin if he wants to do something about that. Have I tried using the IDE on the Pi 5? I have not. Tabular Elf did recently, and it did not exactly behave correctly for him. That was I want to say a week ago though, and I don't know if there's been some Raspberry Pi graphics driver update or anything like that that might have fixed that. Something just fell. Let's not do that. Again, sorry for all the noise. It's a mess in here. That's the wrong mouse. If I were to say sudo apt update and see what packages, whatnot need to be upgraded, if I will try running the IDE. Alright, that should go pretty fast. Doesn't actually look like we have much to update there. Does doing this also update the graphics drivers and stuff? I don't remember. Anyway, GameMaker update notes. I'm gonna look for... Alright, that's the current one. Where's the beta ones? Here we go. So this is gonna be the beta for last month, for like the final beta for last month. And when I download that, man, how do I can just like click to run this as if it's like an MSI installer, or do I have to actually like chmod 755? I don't remember. I'll find out in about a minute. Couldn't get it to make an executable, but you could run the game and use it. I forget exactly. He's not here. I assume he's asleep because it's Australia. But Tabular Elf, we were fooling around a little bit with the IDE on the Pi 5, and like the display was completely messed up. He was able to get the game to like run with the F5 run game command, but the display was all kinds of messed up, and I'm curious to see if I'm going to be seeing the same thing or not. Just to install or extract and it'll do its thing. All right. Is the folder gonna open? Okay, there it goes. It was I was just thinking. Okay, this is the archive tool. This isn't actually what I want to do. Package install. That's what we're looking for. And I expect this will take a while. Once I do this, it does also have to like install the runtime, doesn't it? So that's going to take even longer. All right, well, we can wait for that. Let's see. The bar isn't even moving. All right. All right, there it goes. At some point, I should find like some equivalent of like 3D Mark or something to run on a Raspberry Pi, because it's really hard to find like solid metrics on how, like, you can find information on like how the Pi's CPU compares to other SBCs into previous versions of the Pi, but I've had a really hard time finding graphical benchmarks. Curious if there's even one out there at all besides just like what I'm doing and running games and comparing the FPS. Did we install? We did install. Okay. Can I close Chromium? I don't think I need that anymore. All right. This is instead of showing the splash screen, we're just showing some text off center in the middle of the IDE. I do remember Tabular Elf had a problem with that. The ribbon menu up here at the top is tiny. I suspect I'm gonna have to do some DPI scaling. I forget if you can just go into the like config XML or whatever and do it there. I think what we're doing now is waiting for the runtime to install, but I can't actually see because it's all weird. So I'll just give it a few minutes. If I look at got a task manager in here, don't we? Do we have a Oh, you know what the CPU graph is in Raspberry Pi is HTOP. I was looking for like a Windows-like CPU graph, but we do have a command line version. It is very inconsistently using all the cores. I have a feeling GameMaker is just running on one core here. I'm not sure if that's like an ARM Linux GameMaker version thing, or if that's just a GameMaker version thing, because I have seen people complaining about performance, mentioning that it looked like the IDE was mostly running on one core on their computers. Do we have any like interesting information about what is it, like the Video Core 6 GPU on this thing in here? All right, in any event. Oh, cool, we're doing something. That's definitely interesting. I don't know how usable this is exactly. Let's see, can I go File? Wow, that's tiny. Preferences. Can I navigate with the arrow keys? Did GameMaker just freeze? All right, no. File. Control Shift P. I don't know if we're actually gonna. That's a problem. And now the file menu is broken. That's exciting. If I do go and like download an existing project, right? Can I not see the GitHub orgs when I'm signed out? It's a pain in the neck. Do I not remember my own GitHub org's name? Oh, I have to spell it out, of course. If I were to just download one of these code, download zip and the whole works. GameMaker might launch. Let's extract here. Is that new? I don't remember the Raspberry Pi having like just an extract here option before. So if I open this, and if I wait for it to actually open the project, it's probably going to look like a mess as before. But if I hit F5, it may do something. All right, we've kind of got a workspace here. But if I hit F5, it's trying to run, and we seem to not have mouse lock working. All right, it's rendering. Mouse lock isn't working though. Huh? I thought that was cross-platform. It works on like web. I mean, it's rendering correctly. It's just really hard to see. I'm gonna stop that because I'm getting dizzy. But that is as far as I'm able to figure out the state of the IDE. on the Raspberry Pi 5. It should be fine on the 4. It was fine on the 4 last time I checked. I don't especially want to use the GameMaker IDE on the Pi 4 because it really is a little bit weak. But yeah, I think that's gonna be everything I really want to do today. I've been streaming for about an hour, so I guess I'll call it here. I got some interesting work to do ahead of me when it comes to like optimizing the trees and stuff on the Raspberry Pi. But let's see. Guess I can switch back to desktop over here. My name is Dragonite. My name is Michael. Whatever. I don't keep my outro straight anymore. I hope you all found this interesting. Definitely let me know. Just post in the comments or tweet at me or whatever if you find any interesting findings with your game's performance on Raspberry Pis or other single board computers for that matter. Let's see. I hope you all found this interesting, and I will see you all later. Now comes the part where I have to figure out how to actually